People, it is said that houses have been completed, but the people cannot go and sleep in the house until the Prime Minister go do the cutting of the ribbon, you know. I don't think Jamaica here. Them say the Prime Minister you can't go into the house until the Prime Minister cut the ribbon, you know. There needs to be a ceremonial cutting of the ribbon before you go in the house, you know. So apparently it's more to celebrate and make the Prime Minister look good than the people lives in the houses. Yes. Producer, take up go in and the clean up piece of readings, let people see it. A similar situation exists for 85-year-old Leonard Tucker of George's Lane. Although he has the keys to his nearly finished National Social Housing Program house, he has been told that he has to wait for a ceremony and handing over by the Prime Minister before moving in. Despite the house being mostly complete, there are still tiling, plumbing, and electrical works left unfinished, he said. PR again, you know. They told me not to touch it, and that I not to get anybody to trouble it because it is the government thing. And they are telling me that the Prime Minister is going to cut the ribbon for me and over the key and them things there. He said of the project, adding that is in 2 years, it saw various contractors, workmen, and individuals claiming that they were government ministries. He was given a key to the premises in which the building material is stored and admitted that he spent some night there, particularly during the periods of adverse weather.
What can go so?
You hear there? So when everybody talking about, is it said, remember the Auditor General spoke about the irregularities with this housing project. Producer, I don't know if you remember, and the Prime Minister, he hinted at, he said something about the Auditor General. Let me show you, Jamaica. Let me see if I can find it, because I don't think the producer remember. He said something about the Auditor General, Jamaica. Because the Auditor General is saying...
This notion that somehow the public interest is being defeated by there being multiple windows is absolute nonsense. And I wish to point out that not because there are multiple windows to access a benefit, it doesn't mean that there is duplication or inefficiency. In as much as possible, the processes are integrated at the back end because there is collaboration and because there is robust checking. Now, we have managed to build a public bureaucracy to deliver this kind of benefit in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. And it has done very well. We have now delivered over 300 units, and we intend to expand the rate of delivery. And we have done so without any hint of any misallocation, misappropriation, without any form of corruption. So we pay very close attention to the report of the Auditor General. The Auditor General has a constitutional duty to report on government expenditure. We totally disagree. In fact, we reject the findings of the Auditor General as it relates to the operations of the new social housing program. And I wish to reassure the public that we have administered the program and structured the program in such a way that we follow all the regulations that are required under the FAA and the PBMA and all the other acts to ensure that we are delivering this public service in the most efficient and integrous fashion. We consider it very concerning that such a finding would be found by the Auditor General. You know, there is a saying by a wise philosopher never put down to malice what could be put down to ignorance and incompetence. So I don't know why this finding would be levied against a program that is delivering real, well-needed benefits to the people of Jamaica. We will review the report as we always do. We will respond. And if there are shortcomings, we are constantly seeking to improve the way in which we deliver benefits to the people. But I'm very concerned, indeed, I find it very disturbing that a program like the new social housing program, which was carefully crafted, well executed, is being almost attacked in this way. And we wish to assure the public that we are doing everything possible and will do everything possible to ensure that the benefits are delivered in a timely fashion, but also in an integrous and efficient fashion. The new social housing program has not spent $3.4 billion to date. That is incorrect and untrue.
You hear what about the Auditor General? No. Jamaica. Only hear what about the Auditor General? He never call her incompetent and ignorant. No. Make I ask you now again. The man don't just say the woman incompetent.
What can go so?
Him now look pan her and say she ignorant. No, Jamaica. Didn't you not hear when him just say she incompetent and she ignorant? What a man rude. But the Auditor General is not the only one who found the infractions in the social housing project. The World Bank, equally Jamaica, has an issue with the new social housing project. The producer, you remember that thing that I found in the research where the World Bank spoke about it? Hold on, let me see if I can find the argument that the World Bank said. I did send it, you know. I want to show you what the World Bank said about him. Look at this, Jamaica. I sent it back. Holness also sought to dispute the report's claim that between 2018 and 2024, the social housing allocated 677 million, while the national area, the social housing budget allocated a total of 677 million, while the national social housing project was allocated 3.4 billion. And that the World Bank has also become concerned over time that multiple uncoordinated programs and insufficient targeting and coverage are among issues affecting the distribution of social benefits to the poor and the most vulnerable. So here in Jamaica, there is a project called social housing budget, you know. And then the Prime Minister have another program known as the National Social Housing Program. See there, there, the new social housing program, and there is already a social housing program. So the World Bank Jamaica. So one don't tell the World Bank say them ignorant and incompetent. But you know, there's a word where said Duppy know who fi frighten, you know. Duppy knows who to frighten. Jamaica, here is the World Bank saying the World Bank has also become concerned over time that multiple uncoordinated programs and insufficient targeting and coverage are among issues affecting the distribution of social benefits to the poor and most vulnerable. So the Prime Minister project is 3.4 billion, you know. The Prime Minister's project Jamaica, the new social housing project or program, is 3.4 billion. And there is another social housing budget where the municipalities, etc., do their work for 677 million.
Ball out! Whoa, yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief.
Yeah, there. So Jamaica, when we're talking about balling out, this is unacceptable. Hear what they say? That multiple uncoordinated programs and insufficient targeting and coverage are among issues affecting the distribution. So one is a PR housing project, you know. The Prime Minister have to come cut ribbon before you sleep, go in the house, go sleep. The Prime Minister have to cut ribbon before you go in the house, go sleep. Hear what the person said? He has been told to wait for a ceremonial handover by the Prime Minister before moving in. He have to cut the ribbon. So if you don't cut the ribbon, Jamaica, if you don't cut the ribbon, and that is why I'm saying, Jamaica, how much is it to do one of those housing projects that I'm doing for the people? Because the house, them not really big enough, some small little something them are doing. Me not think say, all right, if him get 3 point odd, him say $10 million per house. Nothing at 10 million for not which 10 million him have make house with. Don't know how no wicked and lies. So. How much house him bill already, Jamaica? Can say him do 300. Is 300 him really do? No housing project no need to take that do 12 million. I don't think him pass 200 house. All right, say you do 300 at 10 million. At 300 million that you know. So what if at 300? So what the next add billion worth of money there? So if them say 3.4 billion, the Auditor General same have. Them want pepper spray the people, them at the protest. I way say them really want pepper spray the people, them at the protest.
We're coming to you.
You sure about that? Let me go look.
Richard, we want justice. We want justice for Jamie. Negligence, you call it. You know we. Negligence, you call it. You know we. Yes. Negligence, you call it. You neglecting. You neglecting. And leaving for the government and the can't use it. And them calling.
Wow. Them out there going bad, you know. Them are going bad. Wow. People are saying them still a go there. Them still a go and rebase. Remember, say it fish me. All I know, Jamaica, this housing. Also see that if a 10 million times 300, say it would have right. It would have right, Jamaica, 300 times 10 million. $300 times 10 million, how much, Jamaica? Remember, me no do maths well. At 3, me get in 9. And him a go say the lady incompetent. Him out of there. Him a go say the lady incompetent and ignorant. What a man disrespectful. What a man disrespectful. But somebody say have 5 different programs that do the same work. But it's not lie. The amount of people do it that is doing social housing program. Andrew just want to be named after himself. My God. Him just want to be named after himself. Isn't that you know, like Caesar wants to go around to stamp himself and say, I erected that. It's like him want to go around Jamaica to make people know that is him erect that statue there and him put up that house and him do yeah man. It is so bad. And who are you to call anybody incompetent and ignorant? 3/4 of your ministers incompetent, ignorant, baseless and filled with garbage. But when you see the bangarang where gone, after him talk about Carl Samuda retire, Carl Samuda apparently see them say one day in the Ministry of Local Government, one in the Ministry, 3 program in the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, and one in the Prime Minister office. Mighty God. So apparently too much of them want war for Carl Samuda seat Jamaica. So Carl Samuda say, you know what? Me not going nowhere. Remember in Jamaica, Carl Samuda 83-year-old. And Carl Samuda decides I'm going to spend another 5 years in the parliament. At 83, him same going to 5 years more in the parliament. So Delana, all of them what did I run down him seat. Lord Jesus. And him adamant that him don't want any contest in the seat. And the party 83 years old. And because Tam Tavares' son wanted Carl Samu, me yes, Carl Samu that same nagi Tam Tavares' son. Remember, say Tam Tavares and Carl Samu have years of bitter history now. So Carl Nago want Tam Tavares pitney forget it. Yeah, man. You remember the allegation say when Carl Samuda did cross the floor, was alleged that Tam Tavares did fire gunshot of time or make man fire gunshot of time. It was alleged. So from them bitterness the Carla carry against Tam Tavares. So Christian Tavares Vincent cannot get the seat. So Carl say him prefer go sit down back in a parliament, even if it mean go sit down on a backbench. And the people them up there say we prefer keep Uncle Carl, all if he old and in tired him and walk with stick. Remember say the people them up there love Carl Samuda in Jamaica. And then until Carl Samuda really run the seat, I'm wife Mrs. Samuda. Mrs. Samuda, yeah. Good night, Mrs. Samuda. Love you all the way your labor right. Love you. Mrs. Samuda is a nice little lady. Although she a labor right, she's a nice little lady. And you can't cuss me, I say. But Mrs. Samuda is the one with hold that seat there. Hold that seat there for your husband. Yes.